All right. So welcome to today's Power Hour. I wanted to run back our launching Power Hour where I basically show you step by step how you can launch your entire digital product business in hours, not in days, not in weeks, not in months, not in years. Although for some people it might take days, it might take weeks, it might take years. We want to get it done fast because one of the things that I live by, that I believe, is that success loves speed. So I want to share with you step by step how if I had to start over again, as you know, I've been doing this for almost 14 years. So if I had to start over again, how I personally would launch my digital product business in just a few hours and how you can as well. Okay. So down below, let me know if you already have digital products. So in the comments down below, let me know, do you already have digital products? Are you just getting started from scratch? Let me know if you are just now launching. Maybe you want to relaunch and reposition yourself. Let me know what's going on. And then we will take it from there. So I see, yes, I have digital products. No, I see. Okay, so I see it's about 50-50 right now. Yeses and nos. So if you're brand new to me, I've been making money with digital products now for, it'll be 14 years this year that I've been in the online space. And I've helped hundreds of women create their first digital product, launch their digital product business, make their first dollar of digital products. And I'm super passionate about women having digital products because it gives you this additional freedom. It allows you to have an additional confidence because you know money that you're making that's. Now, I personally recommend digital products because it has a low overhead to get started with, and you can honestly get started with a negative bank account. I got started when my bank account was in the red all those years ago. You can get started with a small budget, with no budget, and then you can build as you go. So I'm super passionate about digital products. Now, I'm going to give you this playbook at the end. It's totally editable. All you need to do is, once you get it, have to click on make a copy so that you can make your edit, so that you can take action with that is in the replay. You're going to have to comment the word launch, and I do this playbook so that you can execute as we go. Now, I have this framework. It's called the FIRED framework. Fired. I just wanted a word that would be easy for you to remember as you're going through these steps. There are literally 5 steps that you're going to follow to launch fast. And then at the end, I'm also giving you a quick sample framework at the end as well that you can implement into your business as well. Let's go ahead and jump right in. If you're ready, drop a 1 in the chat if you're ready to get started. My goal is to keep this maybe 20-30 minutes because, I mean, honestly, once you get it, you get it, right? So drop a 1 if you're ready. Down below, I'm seeing the ones. Okay, perfect. Let's go. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to find the problem and the profitable idea. So the F is for find. We're going to find the problem and the profitable idea. So the way that you create a profitable digital product is by identifying a painful problem that your ideal buyer wants to solve. I can't remember who said it, but someone said if you solve problems, you should never be broke another day in your life, right? If you figure out how to solve problems, you should never be broke another day in your life. And as a side note, write this down somewhere. You want to solve problems easier for someone, better for someone. That is how you are able to position yourself as an expert, separating yourself from everyone else because you're doing it faster, you're doing it easier, you're doing it better, right? Now, the way that you come up with this problem, and personally for me, 99% of my clients, they were their ideal buyer at some point in time. And I highly recommend that because it makes it easy for you to come up with the content that you're going to market with. It makes it easy for you to come up with your social proof. A lot of people ask me all the time, well, if I'm brand new, I don't have any testimonials, how do I get people to trust me? Because you are going to literally be walking, talking social proof, okay? And so you want to find a problem either related to something you have accomplished for yourself. So maybe a recent win that you would have accomplished. So for example, this summer, I was able to lose 20 pounds in just about just over a month, right? And if I wanted to get into the health niche, that is something that could say, hey, I'm going to show you I lost 20 pounds in, I think it was like 35 days or something. Can't remember the exact amount of days, but I could use that as an example, right? And I would show up, I would create content, I would use myself as walking, talking social proof until I started to get results for other people. Something else that that I've seen someone on Threads talking about is they have a digital product all about how they keep their cats happy. At first, I thought it was a joke. I was like, are you serious? Want to ask yourself, what is a problem you solve for yourself? What is an expertise maybe that you have? So if you know that you are the best at doing a specific type of massage, if you know that you can do hair really, really well, if you know that at your job, everybody comes to you with help for something specific, that is an expertise that you can also monetize, okay? And if you're still stuck, ask yourself, what is something people keep asking you about? So if I had to start over from scratch, a whole bunch of people are always asking me because I've been able to leverage chat GPT apparently in a way that most people aren't able to leverage it to do almost everything for me in a way that is not chat GPT. Always ask me, hey, can you help me with chat GPT? Can you show me this? If I did not already have an existing business, that could be something in the chat really quickly. What do you think the problem that you are going to solve would be? What would that problem be? And remember, when you're thinking about problems, you need to make sure that you are thinking about the person you're solving the problem for, okay? Are you going to help them with? What problem are you going to solve? Drop it below in the chat. And if you're like me and you love ChatGPT, you've embraced that, AI is here and AI makes your life a lot easier. I also have these 2 prompts. The first prompt is going to help you in terms of problems that you've had, and then the second one is if you want to go down the lines of a skill set or expertise. And again, you're going to get this, right? And you're going to be able to copy and paste it. You can put it in GPT. But before you use ChatGPT, I want you to just off the top of your head think, what is a problem? And it's usually a problem you solved for yourself. So really quickly, a problem that I had was I was working 2 part-time jobs. I was in school full-time. I wanted to make more money because I wasn't making enough money, but I couldn't leave the house after a certain time because I had my daughter and I was in Canada. I was away from anybody that I knew. So I wanted to make extra money. And so when I did my research, I figured out, hey, I can start selling digital products. That's how I got started. And so I figured out how to do it. And now I can teach other people who are just like me how to do it better. I can teach them how to do it easier. I can teach them how to do it faster, right? And so I niched down to women who are just like service-based. So career women, because I have a 9-to-5, so it's totally relatable to me. And then service-based business owners, because I've helped so many service-based business owners, and I own service-based business into a digital product business. So let me jump into the chat and let me see what you have up. Let's see what problems you've come up with real quick. So Jennifer says, I don't know. I have a ton of digital products, but I don't have any sales. And that is another thing. Okay. So I'm going to do a whole different class on that as well. But one of the biggest mistakes that I see women making is you have all these digital products, you're not making money. And the main reason is because you have all these digital products, right? And I know it kind of sounds redundant. Let me explain. You want to pick this one problem that you're going to solve first, and then you want to create this one digital product, ultimate solution to solving that digital product. When we have all these digital products, and I'm speaking from my experience, when we have all these digital products that we're trying to sell, we can't focus 100% of effort onto any one thing because our focus is split, and it makes it super hard for us to sell this. So that's why I'm asking you right now, what is something you know that you can do easier, better, faster than most people? And I don't mean I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. When I first got started, all I did, my digital products was all about how to start your own Facebook group, how to create your first Facebook ad, how to set up your Pinterest profile. Like, I used to teach the most, what I consider the most basic things, but those were things that my ideal buyer needed to. It's going to be basic to you. It might seem simplistic to you. You know it's going to pay me. I promise you. Because at one point in time, you took you a day, a week, or maybe a year to figure it out, right? But because now you can than the person who does not know how to do it, and that is what they're going to pay you for. So go ahead, drop some of your ideas in the chat. We can brainstorm around those. Don't be shy. Like, this is supposed to be a workshop where you leave knowing what you're going to focus on. Help you, okay? If you're watching a replay, drop it in the comments. I'll check in on that. But I really want you to that is perfect. How to set up a PayHip store, right? That is perfect. And you don't necessarily have to say how to set up a PayHip store, how to set up a simple digital product, if that's what you're focusing on, or maybe how to set up a simple digital storefront in less than 1 hour. Let me know if that makes sense. And then on the back, you're going to tell them, hey, this is the tool we're using. This is how much it costs, or it's free, or whatever the case is. People will buy that. Why? Because it's only 1 hour. They've been trying to figure it out forever. They've been on YouTube. They've been on people's blogs. They've been in Chat GPT. They can't figure it out. People will purchase a digital product teaching them that. So let me know if that makes sense. And what you want to help them do, the problem that you're solving. So I want you to get clear on the. So you're solving the problem of don't know how to build a digital product store, right? And when you get clear on the problem, a little bit further, we talk about the system. So get clear on the problem you're solving up this store. But that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And now all of the content and the marketing and the position that is going to be around that one thing. If everybody understands how we just niched down and how we just figured out that one product, drop a 2, and we're going to move on to the second step. Drop a 2 if that's more niche. If you're understanding that when you solve a problem that you already have solved for yourself, that's easy for you, you show up confidently. Remember, confidence sells. So the more confident you are in the problem that you're solving with your digital product, the easier it's going to be for you to sell the actual digital product. That's how I make sales all the time, because I am super confident in what I do. I don't teach you how to make $1 million. I literally show you what to me is super simple, but because I can do it in my up and talk about it, I can show up and do the most because of the confidence I have in being able to deliver. Okay. And side note, another pro tip. When you're trying to sell digital products around things that maybe you haven't done or you aren't fully confident in, it comes across in the way that you show up and you market. Your confidence isn't there, and so it's not going to sell, right? People can feel your lack of confidence or the of confidence. We're going to find that problem, and then I have a quick filter for you as you're going through the playbook. Now let's move on to number 2, which is our I. We need to identify the fastest path to their transformation, okay? Most people think that they need to create an ebook that is 100 pages, a class that is 4 hours, a course that has 20 million modules. No, we want the fastest path to the results that they want. So ideally, you want 3 to 5 steps, okay? So for example, you can use this little formula to get from wherever they are. So not having a digital store to a customized, professional looking store ready to accept payments, you need to do these 3 things. And so you're going to list out the 3 steps that they need to go through, or the 5 steps that they need to go through in order to get from no digital store, no sales, to having a digital store ready to make sales, right? And you're going to write out these steps. So for example, mine would be, you're going to figure out your profitable digital product idea that solves a painful problem, right? That's the first step that I will work with my people in, whether it's a digital product or I'm working with them one-on-one. Then going to create your digital product suite so that you can make as much money as possible from one person. And the third thing is we're going to set up a simple system to sell on autopilot so that you can make passive income. Because the big thing with my ideal buyer, that's why I told you, you got to identify the problem is their problem is they don't have a lot of time, but they want to make money, right? Passive income with digital product. And so these 3 steps gets them from the pain, from the problem to the actual result. So I want to write out your steps. That's do another power hour either tomorrow or Sunday, where we're going to talk about the marketing, right? To get into the money. We're going to go step by step with all of this. But I need you to make sure that you are clear on these steps, because if you aren't clear on your path to the fastest path to your transformation, it's going to make marketing hard. It's going to make creating your product hard, because these steps, this is what's going to go into your actual product. Okay. And again, we're going to do a different class on this, but we're just launching today. Once you're clear on the problem you solve and who you're solving the problem for, now you know who you need in your audience. That's the first thing. That's your F. Then we identify what is our framework, right? This is your structure that you're going to utilize. Now, the third thing that we're going to is we want to rapidly create a product. These are R. We want to create our product as fast as possible. And the fastest way to create the product is not to create the product at all. Hear me out. We're not going to create our product up front. We want to make sure we validate our offer. And there are 2 ways that we're going to make sure that our offer sells when we actually create it. So we're going to pre-sell our product, okay? And then we're going to create the product, and we're going to create it fast in 1 to 3 hours or less. So what is pre-selling our product? Pre-selling means that you're going to sell your product before you even create anything. Wouldn't it suck if you spent hours creating your product and nobody purchased it? I would hate that. Okay. I would hate that. And that's happened to me before. And I said, never again. So now I pre-sell everything. Now I've given you some ideas for some digital products that you can create fast. You have your ebooks, you have your template packs, your video classes, your toolkit swipe files. You can create Notion docs. You can do Canva resources. All of those you can create really, really fast. If you're watching a replay, you can commit the word queen. I show you exactly how to do that inside of that bundle separately. But really and truly, you do not need to take forever to create your first digital product. It should be something you create really fast. And I give you the steps here to create. We already did your framework, okay? You can use free tools. You can use Google Docs. I personally right now use Google Docs and Google Suite of Tools for almost everything. I use Loom to do my recordings. But if you have Canva, I also have Canva. You can create everything in Canva. You can record in Canva. You can host in Canva. And again, inside of that bundle that I just told you about, I show you how to do all of that stuff, okay? Keep it simple. Don't try to create this massive digital product. It will keep you stuck too long. But remember, in the grand scheme of things right now, you're not creating anything. You're just coming up with the idea. Then you're going to schedule the time, okay, to create after you've pre-sold it. That's why this happens so fast, because the reason why most people get stuck, the reason why most people aren't making money with digital products is because we want to sell, make some money, build our confidence, and then create. All right. So this is what we're going to do. And again, I break all that stuff down in the Digital Queen bundle. And then we're here at execute a simple sales system. This is where the magic starts to happen. So the reason why it doesn't take long to create this simple sales system when I'm working with my clients is because I have a template. They literally click the template, customize the template, and it's sales system. This is not something that's complicated. It's going to, you're going to build your sales page. For example, Jennifer just now was talking about PayHip. You can use PayHip for free to create your sales page. You can use, if you already have ConvertKit, you can use ConvertKit Commerce to create your sales page. I personally use ThriveCart because ThriveCart allows you to really maximize your sales, but that's a conversation for another day. And then you create your email sequence. Your freebie, okay, is the only thing you are going to create when you are launching. I want you to use Google Docs, and you're going to go into Google Docs. you're going to use the voice to type feature. Let me show you where it is. If you go to tools, okay, and you come here to voice typing, you click on voice typing, it's going to allow you to talk out your freebie. You're literally going to give your content to Google Docs. It's going to type it out for you. You can upload it to ChatGPT, let ChatGPT clean it up, and then you can re-upload it to Google Drive, and your freebie is done in way less than an hour, right? So you're going to create your freebie. Your freebie is going to either be one step in that framework we talked about before, or you're going to give them the entire framework. It's totally up to you. You have to know your ideal buyer and know what is going to give them the best results. So if I were to create a freebie, I could create a freebie around how to determine your profitable digital product idea. That could be one freebie that I create, and that's the freebie that I talk about. That's my signature freebie. That's what I promote. That's what I give out. And I really put good information in the freebie. Just because it's free doesn't mean that it has to be basic, okay? If I were to give the framework, then I would give those 3 steps, and then I would put a checklist under each step as to how to execute each step. So again, give value. Make sure you show them exactly what it is that they need in order to get to the desired result that they want. Once they grab your freebie, they are going to get an email sequence of 3 to 5 emails. I personally like 5 emails. I've given you a day-by-day breakdown. They're going to get an email every single day for 5 days. Okay, you deliver the freebie, and then you send these 5 emails. Your autoresponder automates all of this. And again, this sounds like a lot, but because I have a template for it, all you need to do is click, customize, and it's done. But you can get all of this done really fast as well. Instead of ConvertKit, that's what I use. You just set up your sequence. Once they grab freebie, they get the emails, and in your emails, you are going to sell your digital product. Okay. Day number 1, problem and solution. You introduce your product. You talk about the transformation, the objections, the myths and mistakes. That way you are addressing all the reasons why they wouldn't purchase, so that when it's time for them to click that link, they're more likely to. So all of this is automated. This is how we're removing ourselves from the business from the beginning. And then finally, you are going to focus every single day. So this is your day-by-day plan. Your only goal is to drive traffic. So here are some ways that you can drive traffic. Number 1, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, you're going to post video content. I personally recommend video content because video converts way better. And initially, all you're going to talk about is your freebie, okay? Up front, you're going to promote your freebie. Stories, this is when we talk about your paid product, okay? So you're going to have your freebie, you're going to talk about your freebie, and your emails are going to sell your product. You're going to put that same freebie into whatever platform's bio you're using. If you're using Facebook, put it there. If you're using Instagram, put it there. If you're on Threads, put the link to your freebie there, because your content is going to get you people coming to your profile, and they're going to grab your freebie. Every day I get at least 10 people who grab my freebie, right? Because I know that when someone grabs my freebie, they go through the freebie. Some people are going to buy from the freebie. Some people are going to buy from the emails. But in order for sales to be made, people have to grab the freebie. I could say this till I'm blue in the face. Your freebie is super important. And then you can also send emails to the people who are on your list from the freebie. So let's say after 30 days, you get 100 people to grab your freebie. You need to be emailing consistently and sending them back to your paid offer. This is how you make money consistently, simply by focusing on actions that make you sales. Now, a bonus that I recommend is running simple Facebook ads for $5 to $10. These ads are going to focus on getting you leads. Your leads are going to buyers. So the leads are going to grab the freebie, and then on the back end, they convert to sales. The same as if you were posting content every day. Now, the reason why I mentioned ads is because recently, most of the women that I've been working with, like me, they don't have a lot of time. the less energy I have to be doing the most. Okay. So I realized that running ads gave me back a lot of my time. I don't have to be doing the most. Start with your free content. That works for sure. But if you can spare $5 a day and you know you want to start seeing results sooner rather than later, then running an ad to get you leads every single day is an amazing investment in your business, because now you can measure and you can predict the amount of leads and the amount of sales that you can get on the back end. Okay. Now, I created a quick sample of what this looks like in real time. What does this look like when you are launching and launching super fast? So it takes you 15 minutes max. Like me with my clients, it takes us about 5 minutes, right? To figure out what's your profitable idea. What are you going to focus on? What's the problem you're going to solve? And what digital product are you going to create at the front end? Now, for me personally, I like to focus on lower ticket digital products. That's my sweet spot. That's my zone of genius, is having these lower ticket digital products that are anywhere from $1. Usually mine are $1 up to about $29 on the front end. That is my zone of genius. And the reason why I say that is because for over a decade, I've made lots of money selling these lower ticket digital products strategically. Now, there are other people who believe in a high ticket. That's not me. I've sold high ticket. Okay, can you okay, checking in. Can you hear me? I think I dropped out for a second. Okay, can you hear me? Checking in really quickly. Okay, perfect. Can't remember what I was saying, but it's 15 minutes where we're going to choose your profitable idea. Okay, that's the F. Then we're going to map out your mini framework. Shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. If we're working together, it'll probably take about 15 minutes. Then we're going to schedule the time that you're going to create your product. Remember, it shouldn't take you more than an hour max to create your first digital product. It really shouldn't. Now, what takes most of the time is building out your sales system. But once you build the sales system one time, you're done. If you use a template, it can take you as little as an hour or up to 3 hours, depending on the platform you're using. If you have a template, what that looks like for you. All of this includes, your sales page, your upsells, your freebies, your email sequence. That's what your sales system looks like. And I'll do another class. I have one scheduled talking all about that. And then 30 minutes, you're going to plan 30 to 90 days of content so that you aren't wondering what type of content you need to promote or what kind of content you need to create. You have it already planned and ready to go. And then every single day, you're going to post according to your content plan. So whatever you decided, some people post 3 times a week, some people post every single day. It just depends on what you decided on. And what's most important, you're going to track your data, because your data is going to allow you to generate decisions around the data that is most likely to get you more sales. The reason why most people aren't making sales as well is because they don't understand their numbers. So for example, I've talked about this in the class last week. For example, right? If you know that out of 100 people, 3 people purchase, every 100 people to see your sales page, 3 people purchase, and you want to make 1 sale every single day, now you know you need to get around 30 to 40 people per day to see your sales page. And you wouldn't know that if you don't know your numbers. A lot of people are just showing up and posting content and they don't have a clue what they're working towards. So if you know you need 40 people to see your sales page, and every reel that you post gets 300 views and it gets 10 comments, then you know that you need to post 3 reels a day to get those 30 comments so that 30 people can click the link to see your sales page. See how we reverse engineered the sales activities we need to do? If you're running ads and you know that every 10 people who opt in through your ad, someone purchases, then you know that you need to get 10 leads every single day from your ads in order for you to make a purchase. So when you know your numbers, you're able to make better decisions and you're able to set up your daily sales activities a whole lot easier. So really quickly, let me summarize what we did. We created a game plan, an execution plan, a timeline so that you can launch really fast. Usually when I do this with my clients, it takes us anywhere from 2 to 3 hours max, where we figure out what's your profitable positioning, how to map out your mini framework. We need to figure out when you're going to create your product, set your product up for pre-selling. You build out your entire sales system, and this is just something you have to do one time and done. You plan out your content strategy or your traffic strategy, depending on what you decide on. And then you create your business hours going forward so that you can track your sales, you can review your numbers, and you can post and do your sales activities. Your business hours should be 1 to 2 hours per day, 4 to 5 days per week. If you can't spare that to work on your business, you can't have a business. I'm just being honest, right? Most businesses require you to be present 5 to 8 hours per day. If you can't spare 1 to 2 hours every single day for 4 to 5 days per week, then you might want to reconsider if you want this bad enough. All right. So that's it from me. However, if you want to hop on a free fast launch call so that we can review what's your next best steps in terms of what we just went over. So we just went over the fired framework so that you can actually make sure that, okay, yes, I'm going in the right direction. I know what my game plan is. I know what I need to focus on. If you're watching the replay, you're going to have to commit the word call. I'm going to drop the link down below in the comments for you right now. That way you can book one of those free calls. We can strategize and make sure you're good to go. Because at the end of the day, yes, this is super simple. Yes, this is super straightforward. Yes, it's super easy to implement, but it only works if you do the work. Okay. So any questions about anything that we covered? I'm going to drop the link to this doc for you in the chat in a second. But any questions about anything that we covered before we go? So any questions? So yeah, I'll send the replay out to you via email. All right, so I'll stick around, answer any questions. But that's it for me. Remember, you can comment below to get the playbook, and you can comment below to book a call.